Can different Bible versions change your devotional understanding? Have you ever wondered if using different Bible versions can change how you understand Scripture during your devotional time? Let's take a closer look at this important question. Different Bible translations can indeed influence your understanding. This is because each version translates the original Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek texts into English in its own way. These variations can affect how you interpret and apply the Scriptures in your personal time with God. Bible translations generally fall into three main categories based on their translation philosophy. The first is formal equivalence, also known as word-for-word translation. These versions aim to stay as close as possible to the original language. Examples include the English Standard Version, New American Standard Bible, and King James Version. They often preserve metaphors and specific terms, which can enrich your understanding but may requiring more effort to interpret. The second category is dynamic equivalence, or thought-for-thought translation. These versions focus on conveying the meaning behind the original text rather than sticking to the exact words. A common example is the New Living Translation. This approach can make Scripture easier to read and understand, especially for those new to the faith, but it may overlook some of the original literary or theological nuances. The third category includes paraphrases. Versions like the Living Bible or the Message rephrase Scripture in modern language, prioritizing readability and relatability. While these can help you grasp general ideas, they are less precise and should be used alongside more literal translations for a fuller understanding. Because of these differences, the same verse can read quite differently across various versions. For instance, Philippians 2:5-7 has subtle but meaningful variations that can influence how you perceive Christ's mindset and humility. Some translations add explanatory phrases that are not found in the original texts, which can shape your devotional reflection by emphasizing certain theological points. When engaging in devotional reading, these translation differences matter. Devotional reading is about personal reflection and applying Scripture to your life. A translation that clarifies difficult concepts or highlights relational aspects of a passage can make it easier to connect with God's message. On the other hand, a more literal translation might preserve the depth and richness of the original language, inviting deeper study and meditation. Here are some practical tips for your devotional reading. First, consider using multiple translations side by side. This allows you to compare wording and gain a fuller picture of the text's meaning. Second, choose a translation that balances accuracy with readability based on your current level of biblical knowledge. Third, consult translations like the Amplified Bible, which adds clarifying words to reveal nuances in the original languages. Lastly, avoid relying solely on paraphrases for devotional insight, as they may reflect the translator's interpretation more than the original text. In summary, different Bible versions can shape your devotional understanding by varying in literalness, clarity, and theological emphasis. A thoughtful approach that includes comparing versions and understanding their translation philosophy can enrich your devotional experience and help you grasp Scripture's meaning and relevance more fully.